This video will focus on making the upper fender of our toy car using the master model technique. The upper fender is fairly simple. It consists of a shelled upper surface, a cutout wheel well, a box-shaped rib, axle slots, and finally a step running around the perimeter at the parting line, which engages a step on the matching lower fender so that the two properly register to each other. I'm going to roll this model back to the beginning and demonstrate the process. The first step is to insert the master model. So go to Insert, Part, Browse to the model we want to insert, Open. In this case, we have a choice as to what types of elements we want included in the master model that's inserted. In my case, I want solid bodies and surface bodies. Instead of dropping this in the graphics window, instead hit the green check mark, which will drop the origin of the master model on the origin of this new part. You'll further come up with a new box for locating the part using constraints or translate. Don't change any of this so that this remains at the origin, and just hit the red X mark. Here you see the master model is colored in red even though the original was in the standard gray. That's just because of the color set on this particular part. If we click on the plus mark next to the Fender master model, we see a folder for surface bodies and a folder for solid bodies. Here's our surfaces. Here's our two solid bodies, and these also appear up here in the normal surface and solid folders. The first thing I'm going to do is take this surface and offset it upward by 0.035 inches. That'll act as a surface which will control the depth of that step that runs around the parting line perimeter. I'll just roll this forward to demonstrate that, and this simply uses the offset surface command. Now I'm going to add a plane. It's going to run right along these edges here so that later on I can add a planar surface that's going to cap off this opening. I'm simply going to do that by selecting this point at the end of the surface and making a plane parallel to the front plane. So here's that plane utilizing that method. I'm now going to draw a planar surface using this edge, and a new vertical edge that I need to draw in place. So I'll show you the sketch for that. So I've copied this edge, added a vertical, and created a planar surface for that. The next step is to do a mutual trim between this upper fender surface and this splitting surface. That gives me a clean line down to the splitting surface. The only thing I have left now is an opening right here that I'm going to cap off with another planar surface. I'm then going to take this surface, this surface, this surface, and this surface and knit them together and create a solid at the same time. So going to surfaces, I'll use the knit surface, click here, here, and here, and use this option, try to form solid. And what this will do is fill in this watertight volume with a solid, and all the surfaces will disappear from the folder. If I roll this back, you see there's a lot more surfaces. Roll it forward, those surfaces are absorbed into the solid. The next step is to take the solid and shell it out. So use the shell feature, set a thickness of 0.06, select this surface, and this surface, and I have a completed shell.